Welcome to the TAYLRD team. This is the TAYLRD Orientation training. It is for anyone who is working in or with a TAYLRD Drop-In Center or program. Whether you are a service provider, supervisor, manager, or partner connected with TAYLRD, this training is for you. So, what is TAYLRD? TAYLRD is a new way to engage young people. TAYLRD stands for Transition Age Youth Launching Realized Dreams and seeks to positively impact the lives of 16 to 25-year-olds in Kentucky who either have a behavioral health challenge or are at risk of developing one. TAYLRD does this by working to improve access to services and supports for young people. TAYLRD wants to change the way that we offer and provide services to transition age youth, which we call TAY for short. TAYLRD is more than just drop-in centers. It is a new way to reach out to young people who are struggling. TAYLRD reduces the barriers that often stand in the way of TAY seeking and receiving services and support. Why do we need to do specialized planning and programming for TAY? Why is this even a thing? Transition age youth use behavioral health treatment at a lower rate than other age groups. At one of the most critical and stressful points in life, the transition from being a child to an adult, few young people are seeking out or staying connected to behavioral health supports. There are many reasons for this. It is often difficult for young people to transition from child services to adult services in our systems. Frequently, they have to change service providers and also encounter a whole new set of eligibility rules that may or may not qualify them for services. TAY also encounter many other barriers that make it difficult or unappealing to try to access services. Stigma, long wait times, multiple hoops to jump through are just a few. Young people want quick and easy access to the services and supports that they choose. And although you could say that about all of us, who really wants to wait a month or more to get connected to the service they've asked for? For TAY, they are at a developmental stage in which they will quickly move on or give up if they don't get what they need. Young people will seek out other ways, often unhealthy ways, to address the problems they are facing. Young people are at such a critical point in their lives. Choices they make, opportunities that they are given, needed treatment and support that they receive or don't receive will impact the rest of their life. By offering services that young people want, that are easy to access, and that are offered in an appealing environment, we can help to change the life trajectory of a young person. So how does TAYLRD help address some of these barriers? TAYLRD employs youth peer support specialists, provides specialized behavioral health services and supports to transition age youth, and offers a variety of services, supports, resources, and activities. TAYLRD programs and drop-in centers employ youth peer support specialists who are the first point of contact with youth seeking services or support. Youth peer support specialists are 18 to 35 years old who have behavioral health lived experience. Youth peer support specialists reduce the stigma that is often associated with mental health and addiction treatment. They are able to connect and engage with young people in a unique way. They are easier for young people to relate to and engage with. They also help young people figure out what goals they want to work toward. And they help young people understand what services are available to them and how to access those services. Youth peer support is a core piece of TAYLRD. What are specialized behavioral health services and supports for transition age youth? They are services that are offered in a youth-friendly environment or manner. They are provided by professionals who like working with this age group and understand youth culture and development. Services and approaches focus on transition domains rather than symptoms or pathology. Transition domains include employment, education, living situation, well-being, and community life. Young people choose services based on what they want and what they feel will help them achieve their goals. The services that they choose are easy to access and they are connected to them quickly. This model flips our traditional approach. The initial contact feels welcoming and friendly, not stigmatizing or judging. Service providers focus on the areas that the young person is concerned about, which are usually things like I need a job, I need a place to live, or I want to have friends. Young people are provided information about the services that are available, and then they choose which services to connect with. Those services are easy to access. They don't have to wait weeks or months to start. And they don't have to jump through hoops or participate in unwanted services to access what they've chosen. Let's explore an example.
So let's explore a quick example. So a young person is connected to your program or your drop-in center, and they have indicated that their main focus, what they want to focus on, is getting a job. They've gone to therapy in the past. They've been on medication. They don't want that right now. They want to focus on getting a job. That's what they're saying that they need to do right now. So your team decides who to connect them with, what service provider. It may be a supported employment specialist. That could be youth peer support specialist, CSA, someone that's going to work with them on achieving that goal. So, does the clinician still open the chart? Yes, clinician obviously still would open a chart. Is the clinician going to see the person? Yeah, they're going to see them as much as is necessary to keep that chart open and to make sure that that person is doing okay, and it's going to be communicating with the service provider who is working with them. Now, will the young person be required to see that therapist every week? No, not unless the young person indicates that that's something that they need. And then through work with the service provider that is helping them find that job, in a lot of cases, what you'll find is maybe some of those behavioral health symptoms are what's interfering with getting or keeping that job. So as a service provider builds a relationship with the young person, keeps them informed about what services are out there, what people within the agency and program can help them with, and that this area here seems to keep preventing them from reaching that goal and what they want. Would they like to work with someone for a period of time on these specific things to help them get that job, control those symptoms, whatever? So eventually that young person may very well choose to see a clinician more on a frequent basis, may choose to get connected with a prescriber. But are they going to be required to do that before they can access the service that they've asked for? No. So that's where we have talked about where things kind of get flipped on their head and a little bit different than we're used to going about it. So again, the symptoms might be interfering, but we want to start with what the young person is concerned about and then work with them to discover what is actually interfering and how can we help with that. And hey, we've got a lot of services and resources that can help with different things that they're working on.
Tailored programs offer a wide variety of services, supports, resources, and activities for young people to choose from. TAYLRD also reduces barriers for young people in need of services and supports by using engagement tools. Engagement tools help to build partnerships between TAY and service providers, increase trust, and reduce stigma. Engagement tools can take many forms. An engagement tool could be anything from a gaming system to an art class. Behavioral health providers can find many ways to use engagement tools to connect with young people. TAYLRD also views drop-in centers as a type of engagement tool to offer specialized supports. It is important to keep in mind that a drop-in center is not an intervention or a service. A drop-in center is a type of engagement tool that builds rapport and trust, and it reduces stigma around seeking help. So what are TAYLRD drop-in centers? Again, they are a type of engagement tool. They offer specialized services and supports. They are staffed by behavioral health professionals. They are designed to reduce barriers for TAY who need support. They are friendly and inviting. And finally, they are helping places that assist TAY with identifying and reaching personal goals. TAYLRD drop-in centers are helping places, safe places, fun and inviting spaces for young people who need help and their friends, places that connect TAY to services, supports, and resources in a non-clinical setting. They are co-designed by young people for young people. They are also a new way to engage young people in services. Drop-in centers are culturally aware, inclusive, non-discriminatory, and open to all 16 to 25-year-olds. TAYLRD drop-in centers offer structured activities that are geared towards reaching goals. TAYLRD drop-in centers are not recreation centers, places for adults over 25 years of age to hang out, designed by adults without youth input, crisis centers, homeless shelters, or daycares. Most drop-in centers are open to all 16 to 25-year-olds between 3 and 6 p.m., although some drop-in centers may have extended open access hours or summer hours. During this time, young people are in the space relaxing, socializing, playing games, participating in group activities, and meeting with service providers. These open access hours are for engaging youth, helping them feel comfortable in the space, reducing stigma, and working on personal goals. The main purpose of the TAYLRD drop-in centers is not to provide a recreation center between 3 and 6 p.m. The main purpose of the centers is to engage young people in a youth-friendly environment, assess their needs, and offer formal and informal help to reach their goals. It is easy to get caught up in the day-to-day activities and upkeep of the physical center, but staff must keep in mind that the space is just an engagement tool to attract transition-age youth to supports and services. The space and open access hours are not the actual intervention that will help them reach their goals. Services, supports, and resources will do this. Youth peer support specialists, the on-site manager, and other designated staff will run the center during open access hours. There should be 2 staff monitoring the main area at all times. There should always be a staff person in the building who has at least 2 years of experience in the behavioral health field or working in youth programs. Service providers will also be meeting with young people during open access hours for either scheduled appointments or as needed. Although we call 3 to 6 p.m. time open access hours, other times during the day are just as busy. During these times, service providers are meeting with youth and young adults for scheduled appointments, holding therapeutic and skill-building groups, and sharing the space with community partners. Next, let's talk about membership. All 16 to 25-year-olds who decide to keep coming to the drop-in center for open access hours must sign up as members. At the first visit, a youth peer support specialist will give a new visitor a tour of the space and explain the membership process. The young person does not have to decide on membership that day, but by the third visit, they must decide to become a member if they want to keep coming to the center during open access hours. If the young person wants to hang out at the center on that first visit, they must complete an emergency contact form with a youth peer support specialist. Once this has been completed, the youth peer support specialist will need to verify the emergency contact number and will also need to check the sex offender registry list. Staff should also seek to see the young person's identification to verify their age. If they do not have an ID with them, ask that they bring it in with them the next time they come to the center. If they do not have an ID at all, explain that in order to become a member, they will need one, but that staff will be happy to help them with the steps of getting one. These steps are in place to keep visitors, members, and staff safe at the center and are required. In case of a young person who does not have natural supports or anyone to contact in an emergency, it is important that staff would list 911 as the number. If the young person decides to become a member, this would be one of the first areas of the youth peer support specialist to offer support around. The tailored emergency contact form also includes questions about wellness and safety. These questions are designed to assess whether or not the young person is currently in a crisis situation that would need to be addressed immediately. By the third visit, the young person needs to decide on membership if they want to keep coming to the center during open access hours. A youth peer support specialist will complete the membership application with them. All members must make 3 commitments, and those are: 1. I will follow the law to the best of my ability while I am at the center. 2. I will be engaged in the pursuit of learning or employment. And 3. I will identify and work toward a personal goal. The commitments help to keep the center safe and ensure that the center is a helping place that assists young people with receiving support, reaching their goals, and connecting them to services and resources that they want. Every single member will be assigned to a youth peer support specialist and will be working on a personal goal regardless of whether or not they have an open chart. Members should understand that a youth peer support specialist will check in with them while they are at the center to help them with figuring out their personal goal and with steps to reach their goal. The youth peer support specialist will take just a few minutes each time the young person visits the center to use the AMP Plus process to work on their goal. Next, let's talk about training for drop-in center staff. All staff who work in the drop-in center in any capacity are required to complete these trainings. For the first one, congratulations! You are on your way to checking this off your list. The second training, Promoting Positive Pathways to Adulthood, is an online curriculum for service providers who are working with transition age youth. Your supervisor will be giving you instructions on how to begin the curriculum. For the third required training, you must either complete Applied Suicide Intervention Skills or Assessing and Managing Suicide Risk, which will be available to you through your agency. The final required training is for Motivational Interviewing. All TAYLRD staff must at least achieve proficiency in basic MI. We also encourage you to take advantage of any advanced MI trainings that are offered. Youth peer support specialists are required to complete these trainings. Youth peer support specialists must complete both the Leadership Academy and the Youth Peer Support Certification Training. Your supervisor will direct you on how to complete these. Youth peer support specialists are also required to complete an online training for instruction on their role at the drop-in center. They will also complete a training on AMP Plus, which provides instruction on how to work with young people on identifying strengths and needs, choosing goals, and how to do action planning to reach those goals. Both of these trainings are available online, and your supervisor will instruct you on how to access them. Thank you for joining us for the TAYLRD Orientation. By being a part of TAYLRD, you are not only impacting your community, but you are changing the way transition age youth experience life in Kentucky. And we are so grateful that you are a part of the team.